y'all? It's your girl, Nique. Hi. Thank y'all for tuning in and speak with Nique. I got a special guest here on the show, and I'm so happy that he decided to do my little show. You know what I'm saying? Because he all big time and stuff. Nice. But anyway, I want y'all to make some noise for A Wall. We're going to learn some stuff. What's up, bro?
What's going on? How you doing?
Oh, the VA? Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
2 up, 2 down. Deuces, you know?
Yeah, he's a fellow Phantom, too. I found that out. Phoebus Phantom.
Absolutely.
But I came out way... I'm old, so...
We both came out.
We came out. That's all that meant. So what's going on? How you been?
I've been great in a great space, you know. Whole world having a lot of ups and downs, but... You know, mindset is everything, and mindset is always forward for me and for mine. So I'm always in a good space, try to be.
Okay. So, well, the beginning. I want to start from the beginning. Like, I know you as a singer-songwriter. I've heard absolutely amazing things from you. My husband tells me such great things about you. But I want you to really, like, tell me stories. Tell us stories. I want you to let us know how this all began. Where did this start?
Well, if you go to the beginning, since I came out the womb, my mom was a singer, you know, got a musical family. So everybody sang and played stuff. So it was what I saw doing. My uncle had a band called Waterfront Harmony back in the day, and I used to sit in at all their practices because they would practice in my house. And so
was it gospel?
Oh no, they was booty shaker R&B. They was like Boys to Men, you know, sweat rags, you know what I'm saying, dance moves, all that kind of stuff. So I got to see that growing up, and I had to, you know, come to a understanding, like, you know, okay, even though singing was cool, I figured I could do it. You know, I didn't think it was hard enough for me because I wanted to be tough. I wanted to be a gangster. You know what I mean? So
I heard you was a bad boy.
Yeah, a little bit. So it really wasn't until I was in like high school where, you know, a couple coaches and a couple teachers was like, hey man, you really singing, you know, like it's something different, you know, you should really explore this. And I was out there being a gangster, be doing what I was, and this girl named LaShonda Carr, a baby girl, you know, ex-class, she changed her name a bunch of times, but she brought me into the game for real.
Wow.
She has produced for Justin Bieber, I mean everybody, the Gambit.
That's
like
amazing.
she's from Hampton, you know.
That's dope.
And so I went with her to sign a publishing deal. It was her publishing deal, and you know, they playing a CeeLo Green Records, you know, FU before it came out and everything like that. And so they set her up with some sessions, and Artazio, the hit writer, who's an incredible songwriter, he was late, and so I hopped in the booth and I was like, let me try, and I played some records, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, right? You know what I mean? So I was just there to be the hitter, to make sure nothing happened to her, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was a really, really good opportunity, and then started making record after record, and she really taught me how to record myself, how she was an incredible musician. She plays everything better than me. And she really like taught me how to make sure the sound was good, and writers to study like Static Major, you know, Missy Elliott, Justin Timberlake, Cristal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
James Funk, Rico Love, like,
you
know what I mean?
All
the greats to study, like, you know, what they do, Tank, you know, Underdogs. I don't want to leave nobody out, but what really makes a good song, how to capture an emotion, you know, on different levels. And that was the beginning for me, and then it went from getting with different producers, writing a great body of work, record after record after record, and then I met Ty Muhammad, and then the record started selling. You know, Ty Muhammad is my partner, my brother. You know what I mean?
And they started selling.
They started selling. I did a record with a guy named Scott Carter. It's part of Triangle Park. They just won a Grammy for BJ Chicago Kid.
I love him.
Yeah, he's super dope. And I went to Philly. You know, Dame introduced me to Scott Carter. Went to Philly. My friend Dame.
Who's Dame? Not the Dame Dash.
Not Dame Dash.
I was about to say, because you just dropped it like it was Dame Dash. I was about to say, okay, no, come on.
So his name is Dante Dame, and he introduced me to Scott Carter. And then from there, in that camp, I met Ty Muhammad, and life changed. I started selling records. One of the first records I sold was to R. Kelly.
What?
Yeah.
Was it an album cut?
Yeah, it was an album cut.
What song?
the way these NDAs work.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I got you.
But it was steady cash for a young brother from Newport News.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With not much in his pocket, you know. And then so I was going to college, started selling more records, and then I ended up being on like 2, 3, 4 R. Kelly albums. And then from there, you know, the Charlie Wilson started picking up. I wrote a record for Jimmy Foxx called Ain't My Fault. And
Okay, wait.
a couple of others, and they just started rolling in, and it was really about the work ethic. My man Carlos McKinney, he produced like Jay Holiday Bed. He produced Kelly Rowland's Dirty Laundry, and he worked with The Dream a lot. So The Dream would always say, if you write 3 or 4 songs a day, you know, getting good,
right.
you know, like really, really going in the studio, writing 3 or 4 songs a day, he probably say I probably sell 1 or 2 a month, but I make sure I have at least 10 to 12 major placements a year.
Right.
That's a recipe for success. So it's really about aligning the work ethic, all the energy I was putting into beating people up, trying to be tough, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. If I shifted it and really, really practiced on making my songs make sense, making them feel like something that could change the energy in the room, that's when the success started happening.
Okay. So with the songs that you've written for people, I know, are all of them like NDAs? Are you like ghostwriter or?
No, I'm ghostwriter on half,
and
paper on several. You know, Google's out there. You know what I'm saying? I let the work speak for itself.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, I learned early, you can have 100% of nothing. You know, when you learn the business, and I was very blessed to be around enough of the business to say, okay, some of these albums ain't gonna recoup.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people, you know, a lot of people still waiting on their money.
Right.
And so I was able to sell a whole bunch of records in bulk and get bank up front, and then be able to, you know, I mean, just put me in my first house, put me in cars, took me out of bad situations. You know, I'm buying AC units for the churches and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like it definitely paid off. It definitely paid off. So I ain't never been a person to stick around or be bullied and make a bad deal. You know, I'm from downtown.
I got you.
36. You know,
36.
You know what I'm saying?
So you named a lot of people, in the beginning with, you know, people that you looked up to, singers and everything like that, and writers. Do you have anybody specific that like inspired you creatively, like as far as like a singer and a songwriter?
Yes, Tank. All right.
Okay.
So
I can see that.
My uncle Reggie played me Sex, Love, and Pain 1. He was like, yo, you got to hear this, right? And that joint come on.
Oh, he's showing off.
Like,
he's showing off.
Sex, love, and pain. I was like, whoa, what is this?
Right.
And then he hit that run there. Sex, love. And I was like, okay, whatever this is what I want to do.
Right.
I need to figure out how he made it feel like that. I need to feel like, I'm like, whatever this is, I can't think about nothing else, but I need to figure out how he got that to sound and feel like that. Because at the time I was going to some studios and they won't mix him like T-Riffy. I'm going to just say that. It won't nice and warm and lush, you know what I'm saying? And I knew what I was capable of. I knew what was in my head, but I had to be real guarded and protected about where I let my babies out. You know, songs like my babies. People still. You know, you know.
No, that's fine. So Tank is the inspiration. So speaking of Tank, so when he made that comment about you're not gay if you try, you know, you said twice, if you let somebody twice. How did you feel about that though?
To be honest, I was like, damn, bro. You know, they say, what they say, you know, you live long enough to let your heroes become something else. Right. You know, I ain't know he had that point of view. You know, I say, man, do whatever makes you happy, but, you know, be straight up and honest with what you are. You know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't,
He said he ain't do it, but you know he just don't think, but.
You know, hey, man, we all get to think.
That's
we all
a strong
get to think.
thought.
You feel me? That's a very strong thought. But we all get to think, and you know, I don't particularly think that way. But hey, if that's how he wants to think. I support my very talented brother in his thought process. You feel me?
I feel you. Okay, I'm gonna leave take alone. So I know just from the brief conversations we had, I know you said that you grew up with your father's African, so you grew up with an African dad. How is that? Because I heard that like African dads is tough.
African dads
I heard
are
they're tough and they about their business.
Absolutely. Like my dad will argue you down. Like I'll never forget. My dad, he's not a violent person. He hates violence. Like he plays tennis. He was actually an Olympian. He played, tennis for the Nigerian national team, right? Wow. And I'm a boxer. He doesn't like to watch me beat people up. He thinks it's the most barbaric thing in the world. Right. But he will argue you down over cents, even though he make good money, right? Like we'll go to Popeyes and they'll be out of honey, and he'll be like, "What?
What?
You sell chicken, and people put the honey on the chicken, but you don't have the honey for the chicken. We have to negotiate. The price must come down, right? Because you're not delivering on the expectation." And he would sit there and talk to you like forever.
Do they come down on the price?
No, not at all. But you can't tell him that. Like, oh man, not at all.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Education in Nigeria, like in Nigerian household, you're a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or a failure. So, yeah.
How you feel about your career now? Because you're not a failure.
Like, I'm not a failure. I done had some successes, but
right.
I'm also educated too. I'm getting my master's now. Before it's over, I'll be Dr. A Wall. Don't let it fool you. I'm from the bottom and I beat people up. But I read, I write, and I empower. Right. So I got 3 girls. I don't have no sons. So my mission and my purpose in life is to help raise the next generation of boys so that my daughters can have somebody cool to marry.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
So, as I said, we empower over here.
These young ones be wild.
Yeah,
because they don't have the direction now.
Yeah, and the thing is, I can't protect my kids every second of the day. So what I have to do is raise them to make good decisions so that they'll be able to make the decisions. So fuck boys won't be cool and enticing to them. Right. You know what I mean? So I can only do that by living the way I'm living. So.
And you raising them to protect themselves, because I heard y'all box. I heard y'all boxing family.
We are a fighting family. I grew up where if we argue too long, my parents just moved the furniture because there's too much talking going on. we gotta sort this out by dinner. Right. You know what I mean? And you fight, you get. I mean, me and my little brother, me and my cousins. If we go too long, we'll move the furniture, get it out the way. And we'll be out,
friends
love.
The next day.
Oh, friends the same moment, talking, hey man, can't close your mouth good, can you? You know what I mean? These hands work.
Right. So you got 3 baby girls. 3 girls. 3. How old are they?
They are 4, 3, and 1, and I had the first 2 back to back like Drake.
Okay.
They the same age for like 2 months. Don't tell nobody. My wife was insatiable.
Oh, so she
couldn't get off of me. That's what it was.
Okay, so she didn't follow the doctor's orders. She's supposed to wait 6 weeks.
I mean, how could you? All this damn chocolate.
Oh God. Anyway. So you raising a boxing family? Like, do the babies box
They
too?
love it, man, and it's like I love the fact that they're enthusiastic about it. Okay. My daughters will be like, "Daddy, it's 7:30. You got the gloves?"
In the morning?
Oh, nah. In the evening.
Okay.
They like, yo, it's time to fight. You want to fight?
That's
you know
so
what I
good.
mean? So they love it. And they at first I taught it to them as like patty cake, but it was boxing mitt work. You know what I mean? And now they get nice with it, moving around. And I just, they going to preschool. So we'll see.
What about baby girl?
Oh, baby girl.
The youngest. She's getting into
She has no regard for human life. She's like a kamikaze. Her sisters play, like they play and they have their little skirmishes. But she smiles and she thinks smacking people in the face is cool. So we're trying to rear that back in, because she helped. She a breastfed baby. You know what I mean?
So she's strong.
Them smacks, they'll change your mind.
That's a different hit. Yeah.
She turned them over good.
And she
natural. She's 1.
Oh my God.
She's 1. She's a lovable baby. She barely walks. She ain't got no neck. She be... Yeah, but that right hand is like that.
Dang.
So,
okay,
yeah.
so I think that's dope. I've always wanted to like take boxing lessons. I have to fight with my husband all the time.
Well, I tell you what, y'all can come to my boxing gym over on 1947 East Pembroke Avenue in Hampton, Virginia.
You have your own boxing gym?
No. It's a bunch of us. I coach there though. I'm
Okay.
USA Boxing Green Level boxing coach. Shout out to Eugene Floyd, you know, for putting the brother on. You know, we've been in operation about 7 years now, and C4 Boxing Club. That's the home.
Oh, I've heard of that. Oh, that's over there. My mom stays by Darling Stadium, so it's over there. Yeah, I know exactly where you are. Oh, babe, we have to go.
Please, pull up.
I want to box so I can tear you up. Anyway, I do. I really want to fight him because he really be
blinking.
No, he be really abusing me. Everybody think it be me. He be hurting me. All he do is poke me, and it be pissing me off because his pokes.
See, this is the
is
thing.
like
We
that.
go from pokes to see now he pissing me off. Now see. All right, come on.
That's the New York. That's the New York side. That's the New York side.
Hey man, I don't play with domestic violence.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
I hope Megan. I hope you're all right. You know, hold your head.
That's
you know what I'm
okay.
saying? You know, it get real. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, I ain't gonna let you beat me up neither. I got this pistol back here. And
You think she was trying to beat Tory Lanez up?
I don't know.
He
I
is
wasn't
little.
there.
He
I
is
don't know.
little.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my homeboy Coop. You know, he MD for Tory. You know what I'm saying?
What you been doing during this quarantine time? Like, how many hits have you written?
So first I was real laid back. I've written thousands in my mind. But I was leery about going in by a studio because that COVID is real. And I unfortunately have lost like 5 family members to COVID. Like, so
You lost one?
Yeah. I'm sorry for your loss as well. And it's crazy. You know, we're affected in larger ways and on a grander scale when it comes to the administering of healthcare and stuff like that. So it's real. It's real. If you thought it was a hoax, it's real. I got aunties and uncles that I can't get back. It's real. So
yeah, there's people that still think it's a hoax, even after they lose someone close to them. I just don't take no chances, so I don't play with it. I try not to.
Absolutely. You know, I've been tested several times. And I'm good.
Good. So off of music real quick. I know just by talking that you've had 4 brain surgeries.
Yes.
How? Yes. Tell me.
All right, so
what happened?
Crazy thing. I was out there in the world, you know, doing my little gangster thing, thinking I was invincible, and everybody has their idea of what happened to me. Some people say I probably got poisoned. Some people say it was just like a freak thing, like I was around some kind of chemical. But I had a subdural abscess that went from a sinus infection to eating through my sinus cavities, eating through the front layer of my skull, and trying to eat the lining of my brain. And so I was angry. Some people argue I was always angry, but I was angrier than normal, and I was like hair triggered, trying to fight every day. And I just fell out one day, just fell clean out. And I was like, yo, I'm sick. And my mom was like, you ain't sick, you ain't never sick. You just don't want to go to work. Because at the time I was expelled. I had pushed somebody through a vending machine, got expelled from Phoebus. So I got expelled.
Don't say that so casual.
Hey, you
put somebody through a vending machine? You know how strong you gotta be to push? Bro, them vending machines be thick.
That plexiglass one,
yes.
right? You went to Phoebus, you know where the bathroom's at?
Yes.
Right by the cafeteria, that one right there, right through there. So anyway.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so she was like, because my punishment was working with my uncle. He was an electrician, so I was out there in the hot sun pulling conduit and all that stuff, working man labor for free as punishment. She just think I didn't want to go to work. Man, I was dying in that room, literally dying, projectile vomiting. I was sick. It was terrible. So then I went to the hospital and they was like, okay. The doctors, they was like, oh, he has a little speck on his CT scan, right? And then a doctor came in there. His name was Matthew Chang. He saved my life. He was like, no, that's not a speck. That's the only part that's not covered by the abscess. That's the only thing part of his skull showing, because the rest of that is abscess. He said, we don't cut his head open in like an hour. He's gonna die.
Oh my
God. They didn't know what they were gonna find. They cut me open and they had to drain my head. Like they had put drains in my head and drained me for like, I was in the hospital the whole entire summer. So from the time I was 15, I had to have a brain surgery every summer. So they cut my head out. They cut this forehead part out because it was infected. The abscess had crossed through it. Then they took it out and put it back. They cleaned it off and put it back. I thought it was cool. The abscess was still living in the thing, so it came back. So I had to have another emergency surgery, cut my head open in the same spot, just was fresh healing.
Right.
My head swelled up like a watermelon. It was crazy. Like when I sat down, it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And now during this time, I'm only a drummer. I only play drums, right? But during that time, I learned how to play the keyboard because my mom was like, yo, people walk in the room and be like whispering, and I'd be like, bang, bang, bang. It would hurt so bad. I was so light and they call it auto sensitive or something like that.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. And then she said, if you don't learn how to tolerate noise, you'll never play the drums again.
Right.
So she got me a little keyboard. It was like this big, like a toy. And she was like, turn it all the way down. And so I'm like, okay, work myself up. I'm like, I'm about to do it. Turn that joint down, say bing. I fell out, boy. That joint was so hard and so loud. I'm like, couldn't be on. So I fought through it, learned how to tolerate it. Then there was a song by Gnarls Barkley, Crazy. It just came out, and I was watching you know what I'm saying? And so I started learning how to play that jump because I thought all heroes have the heart to the life I want to live. Right? So
showing off.
And then
okay,
that part grabbed me, so I wanted to figure out how to just play the melody line of that part. And that was the beginning, and I've been playing keyboard, ever since.
Shout out to Mom Dukes for that.
Absolutely.
That's dope.
She was a genius with it, but she was a singer, and she understood, and she had an injury similar when she was in college.
Okay.
She got in a bad accident, and so she kind of could speak to that.
Yeah.
So that made a difference. And then so when I talk about playing sports, when school would start, I would just be walking again, right? Because you lay on your back all summer, like your head bust open, you got to sit there with a drain. They got you in restraints pretty much, right? So I had to learn how to walk. I'm walking by school start. By the time basketball season, I'm just running, and I'm good enough to make the team, but I ain't good enough to play a whole bunch of minutes because I'm on oxygen. Like
I was about to say, how in the world could you have?
I mean, I'm a dog, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, but outside of that, you know what I mean? I was really struggling. I was like, yo, I just had a whole brain surgery, but no excuses. I'm trying to get buckets.
Right.
So, from there, I the biggest thing was trying to get back to boxing because, I started boxing in 1998. And everybody's like, what do you mean? You just had brain surgery. We're not letting you box.
Right.
And I'm like, but I'm nice though. Like I'm thorough. I can change your life. Like you know what I mean? I'm the next Roy. What you talking about? And they like, never again.
Right.
And I'm like, screw that. So I'm looking for doctor after doctor after doctor. And I'm going to gyms where people don't know me, so I can spar.
So that way you can spar.
And they wouldn't say nothing.
But what if they hit your head? That's dangerous.
I mean, you got to think. During this time, I'm in the streets hard. So I got people beefing with me.
Right.
And I'm fighting them, and they might be shooting at me or whatever. And it just was whatever it was. I wanted to go out, not like I let something hold me back. I hate wasting days. Like I really almost died at 15. So I felt like I wasted so much time not doing what I wanted to do. Right. So I was like, I'm not going to waste a day. If I want to box, I love boxing so much, I will die in the boxing ring happy because that's what I want to do. I love it that much. I ain't had kids at the time. You know what I mean? Right. But eventually...
And that changes your whole perspective.
Oh, it did.
Babies.
Oh, it did. Yeah. My wife made me get rid of my motorcycle because, I did. Yeah, she's a lifesaver because she saw me doing like 120 through the HRBT during the wheelie.
You was probably one of the one passing us. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy.
And she was that bike was on eBay when I got home.
Shout out to you, wifey.
Yeah,
like, for real.
She's the best.
She's smart.
She's genius.
She's smart. That's good. Okay, so brain surgeries. With you having so many brain surgeries, as much of a dope writer you are, like it's amazing. I feel like you're like a living miracle because the songs and your voice, it's just absolutely amazing. So like take us through like your songwriting process. Like just when you sit down, like do you need a beat? Do you not? Like what is your process when it comes to writing music?
I don't need anything.
Okay.
And I say it like that because I was taught by so many different people. I was able to observe so many really great processes that I could tap into any of them. whenever I need to. So
Sometimes I was told you could just go in the booth and come out with something in
as soon
15 minutes.
As soon as you cut the beat on, I figure like I've written thousands of songs, tens of thousands of songs. So I write them backwards sometimes. I say, what can I say? What can I say? What can I say? And then if I can't tell you a reason why I can't say this, or I can't give you a reason why it shouldn't be this rhythm or shouldn't be this melody, if I can't justify not doing it, that's what I do. And it just happens so fast because I've done it so many times. It's like it's binary. It's math for me. It's like boom, 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 boom. Yep, I can't justify not doing that. It must be it. You know, so I write songs backwards, or sometimes I hear the music and the emotion, and that'll grab me, and then I just need to complete that emotion. Like it'll bother me until I finish it.
Right.
And that gets me. And then another way that I create music is sometimes I'll sense an emotion. Like I don't even have to do it. Like one time I wrote a song called "The Good in This World." I wrote that for a dude named Darius Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish, and it's called "The Good in This World." I was my boxing coach, Abdullah Muhammad, rest his soul, he had just passed away. And I was angry because I couldn't be like around the family at that time.
Right.
You know, rest in peace to Kenyatta, he just passed away. And during that time, it was like I was on my way to Philly to work with the Matrix, and we were working with Glenn Lewis. I wrote a song for Glenn Lewis. Wow. So Glenn Lewis, I was on my way to do those sessions, and I knew I was gonna be late because there was this crazy traffic. Yeah. Right. And I look out. And I'm like, okay, why is the traffic so bad? Like, we're stopped. And then I see smoke, and it's a terrible car accident, right? And people are running out of the cars because the car is on fire. So we're running out of the car. We trying to get the person out the car. We kicking in doors. We trying to pull the person out. He fighting for his life. The other dude that was in the car, he was thrown from the car. Oh my goodness. And it was bad. Like, you know, and then I saw like everybody, we were all worried about where we were going. It was all late. Right. But at the same time, at that time, nothing mattered but trying to save those people. And it was like, you seen white people, black people, Chinese people, all trying to get out of their car in the rain to try to save somebody. And I was like, dang. It's some good in this world. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And it was like, you know, it almost made me want to cry. And that emotion, and it was crazy because we was making some trapped out records. Like we was making some different stuff. And I was like, yo, I got a record, but I want to make it country. Like I want to make it country. Like I got a big Rascal Flatts influence, you know, Keith Urban, you know, that type of stuff. So, and I play all the instruments, so it was easy for us. And I was like, yo, I got to make this country record. And Scott was like, but you know, like, country. I was like, yes, please make me. I'll do it. I'll write to whatever track you got. Yeah. But I need to get this country record off before I leave. Right. And lo and behold, "Good in This World" was one of the best records. One of my most favorite records I've ever written.
Sing a little piece of it.
Oh man, it's like I believe there's some good in this world. You know, it starts off as like. Oh yeah, but
I mean, you was singing everything else. So I was like,
you know,
the title just made me want to hear it. So I'm gonna have to definitely check that one out.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
And cause it ain't mine no more.
It ain't just no way. And I know with me, I'm a songwriter too, so I know my songs are like my babies. Like I love them. It's hard. They asked me like, would you write songs for other people? And I just think it would be so hard because they'd be like my babies. But I would love to, you know. Of course. But
you're right. But I thought of it the same way until somebody opened my eyes. So I'm like, I get to reinvent myself. I write. Now I thought it was super suspect to be hitting all these high notes and writing female records. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
You was
cause see, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, cause see, it was I had a little bit of identity crisis because you know I had Mickey Mouse voice. I was like talking like Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody know I have a high pitched voice, especially when I'm mad. Right. But you know, I'll pop your top at the same time. So don't get it twisted. I'll bust you. But you know, I got a high pitched voice. You know, I'm already singing and everything like that. So. It was incredibly freeing to be able to put myself like, yo, I need to write a song for some bread for these girls. And when you write songs for women, it's like freeing because you're talking from a woman's perspective,
Right.
but you're a guy. You know what you want to hear. You know how you want to make the girl feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a different mental exercise, and it helped me write songs for other people, like other dudes that I'm not. Like I'm not the soft dude. You know what I mean? But I can write a song about being dumped, about being poor, being rich, being confused, being like I can write a song about anything, and it's because we've expanded and removed the shame and the possibility of creation. Because I'm trying to tell you, that check, when that check hits your account,
That ain't your baby no more. Bye, baby.
oh, it's still my baby, and my baby pay me. You feel me? And so it's
Put
like
that baby up for adoption.
you know,
Hey.
sell them, black market. Anyway,
Right.
but you know, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to be able to step outside yourself because it opened my doors. Because I don't even have to feel the emotion. If I used to have to write songs about stuff I went through, that's limited. But that's limited.
Yeah.
That's limited because you're not going to experience everything the same way, and it limits the type of records that you could possibly be that can come out of you.
Right.
So like, I ain't never been in love with a man. Never. I'm good on that. But I can write from a perspective of a woman who I've seen be in love with a man. But you know, like I hurt that I've never felt. I can write about hurt that I've seen, or observed, or conceptualized, or that somebody's communicated to me, and be able to write it like they sung it, like they wrote it, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what you got to do for these artists. Like I sit down with them, you know, after I get the first one, because they hear a record, then they want to buy it, and then you get in the room with them to record it, and they say, what else you got? Well, I say, well, what's going on in your life? And then, bang, that's when I know, man, that's when we make the best one. That one, you know what I mean? Because that first record gets you here, but them next 4 or 5 that we gonna cut,
Because it's personal.
because it's personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I learned that from Hannon Lane. Hannon Lane is a good friend of mine. I don't know if you know Hannon, but Hannon has produced for Madonna.
Oh, okay.
And he from Newport News.
Wow.
What up, cuz? And
Bad.
that's another thing. Like when I learned that Ella Fitzgerald was from Newport News, I was like, everything is possible.
Yeah.
Everything is possible. Because when you from 36th Street, like you don't see only person I ever seen with a Rolls Royce was Sing Harris. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And Bill just put up on us with a Bentley the other day. But you know, like unless you was AI with the 3 Bentleys, like we ain't see them in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who like singing? How is this a possibility for me? And then Ella Fitzgerald Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? It's right there for me to look at, and it's like, yo. Then you think Timberland right across the water, Missy right across the water in Portsmouth.
Right.
You know, and after I got expelled from all of the Hampton and the Newport News City schools, I had to graduate in Portsmouth from Churchland High School.
You was bad as hell.
Yes, I was. But you know, to God be the glory.
Right.
And to God be the lawyer, because I don't have no felonies.
No, that's right.
Pay him up, pay him good. You better get the good one all the time.
Back to the Wall.
Back to the
Wall. The album. How did that come about? Like I like the songs that you have up there that I listen to. You was talking about sex. Like you was talking about getting busy.
Oh yeah,
What's that last song? What's the last
Crying?
song? Oh my God.
Crying. Now look.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna stretch out on this one because I'm African. Letting you know, everybody, they talk about wanting the big one, but it's work. You might need.
Shut up.
You might need 2 or 3 days of rest, to recoup before you try to jump back in there. It ain't always, it's heavy lifting. Wide low.
Okay.
But
TMI. But they want to know.
Absolutely. It keeps the marriage happy.
Okay.
But
okay.
all that being said, it's just the emotion. I understood that emotion. Like one of the most beautiful things, like you ever make, how they say, and then we made love. Like last night my woman cried together. I love that record.
Oh,
right?
Me too.
And when you think about crying, it ain't really masculine at all. You know what I mean? But so I had to make the song masculine by saying I wasn't crying, she was crying. Now I've experienced that. Made love to a woman, and I knew she was crazy. I had to get rid of her fast because, we in the middle of it, and she's like bawling, crying. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Am I hurt? Literally, like the words of the song, it happened. It's like, yo, am I hurting you? Like I could stop if you want me to. And she's like, no, keep going. It just feels so good. I didn't think
So
I was
you had to
gonna
love
feel
her
like
because
this.
you thought she was crazy?
Nah, she was like, you know who you are. I'm looking at you. Shoot, you know, you ever had sex and you get up and then she just attached to your back, just rubbing on you, holding you, and you just want to.
That would make him crazy.
Nah, yo.
That means it was good.
Yeah.
That means it was good and you not trying to let it go.
But when she inhaling your exhales all day long afterwards,
right,
and she popping up in places, and you know.
Okay, see,
you know what I mean.
She started getting crazy. But that was because you African and you had to stretch it out.
Yeah,
like I mean, you know.
And you know, I don't blame her, but I gotta live a certain way. Like, you know what I mean? You know, that ain't what it is.
Right.
She was saying stuff like, "Why are you doing this to me?" I'm like, I'm confused now. But she like, I know, but why you look at me like this?
Yo, you
I'm like,
stupid.
Because that. I'm like, do I answer? Like, you confused me. Stop making me do math. You gonna make me lose it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to get her to shut up. So I'm going hard. I'm like, bang, 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 shut up. I'm like, maybe she'll stop talking. And then she just. I mean, the questions was crazy. It was just like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you making me feel like that? I don't know.
So that's where the song came from.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And
that's
I was
hilarious.
I was like, okay, alright. So what you finna do? So what you finna do?
So it's time for you to go. So did she become a stalker afterwards? Slightly, okay.
Slightly.
Oh my goodness.
She wasn't bad, but it was noticeable. Like, okay, I don't want. No, this not gonna be long term.
Right.
We gotta talk about this.
So anyway, back to the wall. Tell me about the album. Like, I know the last song is crazy, but
yeah. So
because you did a mixture of R&B and rap on this album.
Yeah. So like, as an artist, being so creative, because I'm not limited. Like I can, if Chick Corea is doing an album, I'll go in my jazz hat, put on my jazz brain, and I'll play all the instruments, and I'll make it shake. Like, I'll make an album with Chick Corea, live in London. Like, you know, Snarky Puppy, that's what we doing. That's what we doing. Like, it doesn't matter. I will create whatever it can. So having that broad range, people who want to buy you or support you, they be like, okay, who is he? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I can't put him in the box. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's AWOL. He's all over the place. I don't know what he can do so much. I don't know what to expect from him, and that can be problematic when you're trying to find a target market. Right. Mm-hmm. So it was very hard for me being an R&B singer who punches people in the face. Big six. I'm 6 foot. I do. I literally. That's boxing. You punch people in the face till they fall down. That's the name of the sport. Like, that's how it goes. And so, being an R&B singer who does that, it was problematic to package. Right. And so I'm like, okay, I understand. I get it. And then, you know, being like, when you work in the streets, like, you know, everybody wants you to do a feature. You know, I'm from Newport News, so I got a lot of gangster rappers. Yeah, you know, shout out to Hood Platinum. I'm officially the youngest member. I was Hood Platinum in the beginning since I was like 15. R.I.P. Trey K. You know, Double XL been my old head forever. You know, Hershey, that's my dog. I love him to life. When I was a kid, like, Hershey my barber. You know, so. I got introduced to Hood Platinum that way. I would barber? Yeah. You ain't got no hair. I had hair in the beginning. Don't be coming for me. And I got hair. Oh, well, you got the beard. You know? You got the beard. So, okay. So back in the day when I was 15, I had cornrows and let you tell for a brief period. So, you know, I was out there like really trying to be the most scary human I could be. I was literally fighting for reputation. I wasn't even making money. I was dumb. I evolved, obviously, but you know, when you're out there, I was a crash dummy. And I would literally run into the barbershop with bloody t-shirts and wife beaters and be like, yo, Hirsch, you got a shirt? And by that time, you know, Hirsch was real big, so he had like 4 X's. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so like Tavi or somebody, they would give me a shirt. I'd go in the bathroom, clean up, go out the back. Mm-hmm. And I was wilding. And they was like, bro, you really can sing. Like, why don't you, instead of doing this stuff, putting this music. So I started going to the studio with Hood Platinum and all that kind of stuff. And they was my hoods. I was like 10 years younger than everybody, but it didn't matter. So I'm officially Hood Platinum. It is true, you know. That's my first team, my first squad. shout out to everybody up there.
Yeah.
And I still think Jay Skills will give the best shows
Oh man,
I've ever
the
seen.
greatest show on earth.
Ain't
like that,
he
he
though?
did one of the red rooms and he
Crazy.
did
So
crazy.
that, I mean, that
numbers.
you know, that's my people. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know, Walty, Big Bull,
Yeah.
Double XL, Chachi. You know what I'm saying?
Big Hop. I
Big
remember
Hop.
all
You
of
know,
them.
hold your head, Hop. I love you, man.
Yeah, I remember all of them. I used to do hooks for Hood Platinum when they was recording, and that what's that? It was off of Mercury Boulevard in a little section over there. I would go over there and they would just be in a circle, just passing blunts and recording. And I would be sitting there, the most unhigh one, looking like this is just too much.
Track me.
Right.
You be like, is this
Right.
just 2 blunts?
Yeah, but Hood Platinum is dope. Like I remember Hood Platinum years ago. So, what's your most useless talent?
My most useless talent. I don't like to do nothing that don't make me money. But
you got a useless one that don't make you money.
Alright, my most useless talent is I'm a beast at over the door basketball. I will fuck you up. Bang! Like I mean, from deep, from the bed. Well, like I you know, we play horse over the door basketball. I get in the bed, put the covers on, and be like, you know what I'm saying? Light your ass up in a game of horse.
Right.
I ain't playing with you.
Okay.
You know, if we bet, it make me money. But you know, outside of that, you know.
But it's useless. But if you make money, then it ain't that useless. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's very seldom we get, you know, over the door basketball tournaments. We need to make that thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I'm LeBron.
Okay. All right. We might need to do a tournament here.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had an over the door.
Absolutely. I'd have been like, you got the, is that rolling?
All right, so let's get into, like, I look at your post a lot. I look at your page, especially doing my research on you before, and I see you post a lot about like community-based stuff. Black Lives Matter. You're real big on that, and
Absolutely.
you know, with everything going on, it's crazy. So talk about that.
I come from a great community. I wasn't always great to it, but it is great. And in that community, one of my biggest like hoorahs, my brother has never done anything illegal. My little brother, I took care of him. You know, I did what I had to do.
Right.
He has never done anything crazy or illegal. That ain't his life.
That's awesome.
But he's 6'5". He's 320 pounds of solid muscle, and I'm still the big brother. I'm probably meaner, but he is incredibly powerful. And one of my biggest fears is that somebody gonna be afraid of him and shoot him.
Right, because he's so big.
Because he's so big. Because you know, like the conversations we gotta tell our kids is ridiculous. Like when I was growing up, my parents would tell me, I had to almost go to therapy behind this. When you walk into a room, make yourself small. You're gonna intimidate others. You know what I mean? It was like that slave mentality. And so having an African father who, you know, come from people who weren't enslaved like that, you know, Nigerian, Yoruba, right? He's like, when you walk in, walk bold, right? Be loud. We walk bold. Let everybody know what you're saying. Like, and I didn't realize it affected me until I had a girlfriend in college tell me, why do you order your food like that?
How do you order? What you
I
mean?
used to order my food like real quiet and docile and everything, like, you know, and then people would have to ask me like, what did you say? Right? You know what I mean? And then it dawned on me, shit, I'm doing what the stuff like that my grandmother and you know, those great you know, people told me, you know, like I'm making other people feel better about being around my black awesomeness.
Right.
You know what I mean? And but my father said
But
they should. Yeah, exactly. My father was like, if you walk in the room and they shiver, they should shiver.
Right.
Get motherfuckers a blanket.
King.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like they should tremble in your presence.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a different mindset. And it was interesting growing up with both of those aspects of influence playing a role in how I saw the world. So my dad made sure that I felt like I could do anything and I belonged everywhere.
That's good.
You know what I mean? My mama was trying to make sure I came home.
Right.
Cause she knew it. She had me a lot more than my father.
So you had a balance. So
I had a good balance.
Yeah,
you know,
that's good.
You know, when I was with my daddy, you know, I was the king of Wakanda. You know what I mean? Shoot, when I was with my mama, I was the king of the 249.
Well, I gotta teach you the streets, you know what I mean? So it's the best of both worlds, though. That's a good thing. That's a great thing. So with everything that you've done, all the music that you've written, like when people look back on who A Wall is, like what do you want them to remember about you?
I want them to remember that I worked extremely hard. Like, a lot of people say, man, you're doing too much. And I feel like I haven't done enough. I'm just getting started.
Right.
And being talented once, being strong once, isn't the measure of real strength. It's being consistent over a period of time, a body of work, a body of a career.
Absolutely.
That really, like, my heroes are like Missy Elliott.
Right.
Look at her catalog.
Yeah.
Look at R. Kelly's catalog. Don't look at his behavior.
Right, right.
Look at his
Just the
catalog. Look
Right.
at his catalog. The consistency of greatness day in, day out. It's an excellence. It's a habit, and rent is paid every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I want people to know I paid my freaking mortgage.
That's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up. Well, we're about to get out of here. Please let them know where they can find you, what you got out. You know, let them know exactly what's going on with Mr. A Wall, head buster, head, you know what I'm saying? The head thug.
Alright, so you can find all of my music, all of my links. I got Back to the Wall out and available in every store, on every platform. You can get all of that at awallsings.com. You can go to awallsings.com. You can interact with me. You can book me. You can buy my merchandise. You can do everything you can do from awallsings.com.
Okay. Well, we are done. Thank you so much for just agreeing to do the show. It was just an honor. I've heard stories for years about the type of person you were, the things that you've done. So to get here and just explain and we talk, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. So I appreciate you.
And it is for me too, because the example that I have seen, the love that I felt from coming from your husband and your family and your boys and your son, well, how many years is it? Is it 15 now?
Yeah.
It's been 15
Long
years,
time.
and you can't fake that kind of love, and you can't be consistent that kind of long without being 100% real. So I thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, y'all. A-Wall is about to hit this stage and do the dopest, intimate, sexiest setting of them all, and I know he's gonna kill it. But thank you for watching Speak with Nique. I appreciate y'all every week. I love y'all. Mwah. Bye.
Neighbors.
All my life I had to fight for love. Tried to go outside and make a life for us. When you hit my line, I get excited, and I can't wait to get inside it. Girl, I want to spend my life in love with you. 'Cause everything you do got me thinking about you night and day. All I want is you. All I wanna do is have you right next to me. 'Cause you look like my new babe. I ain't never stuntin' what your crew say. Girl, we fell in love on Tuesday. I can't even